Hi everyone, Angelo here, homeless filmmaker in LA. I had like one of the craziest nights sleeping in my car last night. It is so weird how, I don't know what it is, if it's just, I mean, I'm sure the pandemic and everything and 20% unemployment might have something to do with it. But there's been more like, I'm just seeing homeless people like sleeping at the park where I didn't see them before. And, I respect them. I don't bother them when they're sleeping. And unlike this one jerk this morning, he wasn't harassing a homeless person, but they were sleeping where he wanted to work out, and he just started working out there, and they got up and left. The homeless person did. But that, and I don't know, maybe it's always kind of been like this, because even throughout the year, obviously, I've had scary wake-ups. One time there was a police chase right next to me, and I realized, because I was on a very quiet industrial road, I was like, oh, this actually makes me very vulnerable. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm in this quiet place, it's almost like being on the back lot of a movie studio. There was a police chase one time, like shortly after I moved here, where a guy, it sounded like he dove under a car on the other side of the street from me, and police were yelling at him to come out, yelling they're going to pepper spray him. Then one cop yelled, "I've got lethal," and I thought, oh shit, please don't shoot him near me. And I mean, just don't shoot him, but don't shoot him near me too. And he got up and stuff. They arrested him. It sounded like they treated him with respect. They didn't rough him up or anything. But I could not sleep after that. But and the car crashed too while I was sleeping. But last night, this was so bizarre. I swear that I've never heard drunks as loud as here in LA. Even guys, I mean, and they're loud when it's like, 6 to 9 or in the morning or so. Or before 6, let's face it. 2 to 9 in the morning. But they're so loud. There used to be one place I went by, and these guys would fucking whistle so loud at anybody that walked by, and it pissed me off. Because, it was like this weird kind of catcalling. But it was like a disrespect of people's boundaries and mine. And one guy whistled at me, drinking a beer with 2 of his friends while I was driving out of someplace. And I just looked at him pissed off, like what? Leave me alone, I think I said something, I don't know. But like he wanted me to just join him to drink. Like, how stupid are you when you do that? But I was sleeping last night, and I still get up at 4:40 a.m. every day. It's helping me, I think. It's really good for me. And I heard some guy these guys scream like bears when they're drunk around here, like on the street. What the fuck? Anyways, I'm not even finishing that sentence. This guy started yelling at him and was like, they got in some argument. He was like, shut the fuck up, and there was some arguing back and forth. It was echoey and stuff because it's all buildings and asphalt around us, and they were obviously across the street somewhere. I couldn't really see, and more than just across the street, like down the street or something. And I hear more arguing, yelling, and then the drunk guy was still being weird, kind of. I don't think he was like antagonizing the guy who was yelling at him, or I'm not sure, I can't tell. But what ended up happening at some point, a couple seconds into the argument, was the guy who told him shut the fuck up he's like, shut the fuck up before I shoot you. I'm like, oh shit. And he keeps yelling at the guy, and the guy was, I think he like kind of panicked, like, all right, I don't know. Again, I didn't see any of this. I'm just lying back, trying to lay low, so if any bullet flies in my direction, hopefully it's above me. And he keeps yelling. I don't know if I heard a pop, but I don't know if it was a gunshot. I really don't think so, because gunshots are louder. I mean, I've been around guns once when I was at a shooting range. And, they were generally pretty loud, all the different types of guns. Even the little, snub-nose revolver. What did I fire? Yeah, I think I fired a revolver, or it was a small pistol. I fired a couple weapons. People were just letting me fire their guns there. This is years ago. But, by the way, after firing guns like that, there was Band of Brothers on TV. I watched it. It shook me up, like just the hear the guns. It made me nervous because I was nervous at the gun range. Everyone was very nice, But anyway, it was just, I was always very cautious, you know, and worried, like, oh man, this better not go off wrong or anything. When a guy was too close to the end of a rifle, I said, he's like, go ahead, shoot. I'm like, no, I don't want you even this close. He's like, oh, it's no big deal. And I was holding a sort of a sniper rifle, too, with the scope on it that was shooting downrange. Anyways, that was fun. The shotgun was the most fun, though. Oh, man, loading that, the bottom, and firing. Anyways, so I heard a pop, but I don't think it was really a gunshot. If it was a small gun. I don't know. And but I didn't hear him scream or anything. I mean, they were all kind of shouting. It's kind of hard for me to piece together what was happening because I couldn't see, and I was hearing, like, you know, just the echoes of this argument. Then I hear police, you know, sirens coming over, and they stop somewhere, and it's hard to gauge distance with all the reflections of the sound, you know, bouncing off everything. So I thought, oh, maybe the police went far. They went to something else. Well, I look out my back window, and I could see the two police cars, or two SUVs, at a gas station across or down the street, and there was a fire truck there, but I didn't. Then it went away after I pulled my phone out to film, see what was going on, and also really just to zoom in because my phone can zoom in a little bit. This new LG phone can't zoom in nearly as far as my old phone, but that phone died, and that was kind of it. Like, I don't know what happened. I think if they had someone there who was shot, there would have been more cops there. I don't know. I don't know if the police are too, you know, stretched thin or something. But I remember when I was in Virginia, Northern Virginia, I said, you know, I was at my job as a bouncer, and a guy pulled out a gun on a woman, held it to her head right outside the bar. I ran to the bartender. I said, hey, call the cops. There's a guy with a gun outside. And I ran back to around the window, I guess, to look what was happening. And oh, that's when I saw him hold a gun, because before he kind of flashed the gun at me because I was telling him calm down about something. And he was like, what, you want to check me? And I was just trying to be nice. I shouldn't have done that. When he says check me, I should have taken it seriously. But he's like, come on, you want to check? He unzips his jacket, flashes a pistol in his waist. He didn't pull it out yet. So that's when I went inside to the bartender, said call the cops, went back to the window, saw him pointing a gun at a woman's head just like this, you know. I'm like, oh shit, you know, just standing. She's just sitting there. She was drunk and like just motionless. And I went to the door and I kind of peeked my head out the door. It was kind of a decent sized handgun, so I knew that bullet could have blown through that door if you know, if he shot at me. So I yelled, hey, get out of here, get out. And then he ran away. And the weird thing too, there was a guy, a homeless guy with mental problems, who was hanging around there too. The homeless guy started running away with him, but he didn't even do anything. I was like, what the hell? Anyways, and he got arrested later, and anyways, he spent at least a couple months in jail. He was just convicted for brandishing a firearm. They never found the gun, but, you know, I testified that I saw him with it. But anyways, but when the police came in that instance, they were all over they blanketed the neighborhood with, like, you know, dogs, and they were looking everywhere for him. And finally, the police search kind of died down about an hour later, and then the guy with the gun walked back into the bar like nothing happened. And I let him walk by in front of me, didn't know if he had his gun or not. I grabbed him from behind and held him. He didn't resist at all because he knew he was in trouble. I mean, he knew he messed up. He did wrong. And I yelled at the bartender, call the cops, he's here, you know. And fortunately, I yelled at another staff member, hey, go outside, check if there's any cops still there. This is the guy. And they arrested him without incident. Turned out he came back because he left his cell phone there. And he wanted to get his cell phone. But there were a ton of cops there. So I'm like, there's only 2 cop cars parked out for what may have been a gunshot. I don't know. I don't know if somebody just called the police because they heard him yell, I'm going to shoot you. So anyways, it's, I feel like, you know, I'm lucky, like it's relatively, I've been fairly safe so far, but this is a lot of close calls for me in a short amount of time being in LA. And yeah, it doesn't mean anything bad luck or whatever, but I'm like, man, how safe can it continue to be for me? So, you know, I'm still just trying to make money any way I can and work and write, save money any way I can. Today I went to the food bank instead of the grocery store. I didn't feel like going to the grocery store again. And I'm like, I can still use my food stamp card later at the grocery store. I can't use it at the food bank. But at least I'll get some stuff cheap at the food bank that if I went and got it at the grocery store, it would have cost a ton of money. Even on my food stamp card, why spend all that? I can get this stuff sooner or later and still, last maybe more the rest of the month with the food stamp card, getting just stuff that I know is cheaper, like bottled water. So, yeah, getting up 4:40 in the morning is helping me, but man, I know there's probably a safer area to sleep, and I might just sleep there. It's better lit, and there's security around, and they don't care if people sleep in their car there. Like, they've seen me sleep there a bunch of times. And other people, too. It's all over, There's no hiding it. You go around the block, there's RVs up and down the street. Not that they're necessarily in the parking lot, but sometimes RVs park overnight there, too. So, yeah, man, it's just, it's like, I know it's just kind of random chance and luck whether I get attacked. I always have something, for self-defense within arm's reach. It's not tucked away somewhere. It's like I can grab it if need be, but that's not perfect, And especially if someone's out of their mind, drunk, high, they're not thinking about, whether you can be dangerous to them, and the tool, whatever self-defense instrument you have may not be useful against them. So anyways, that was a wild story. Also, California is shut down now, basically. It's, gyms closed again, restaurants indoors, churches, and they said card places, like places where people play cards, like, are they not just called casinos? What is that? But, and now Garcetti is saying that LA, in addition to shutting down businesses, may order like a strict shelter in place where you're only supposed to go outside for, necessary things like whatever, laundry, food, doctors, mechanics. That's it. Oh, hair salons, they're closed too. So this is, man, it's weird when I've gotten to the point where my hair, like, I turn my head to like check for traffic and I feel my hair bounce around too, but I can live with it. So yeah, it's man, and I saw something that, like, a report that said at least 365,000 households are at risk of eviction in LA, and 120,000 of them may face homelessness, and of those there's like 184,000 kids in those 120,000 households that may go homeless. So yeah, anyways, a lot of bootlickers. I know that's good. That's prosperity. When poor people are in the street, that's good. It doesn't really make sense, but hey, I'm a normal person, so I don't support that. So I know landlords do. It's like, well, it's making the landlords richer, and they're bootlickers. If it's making them richer, that's success. Makes them feel good about their, inverted micro penises. To say, like, if someone else gets rich, maybe I will someday too. Even though those landlords don't give a shit about you either. So, anyways, I got to get to work now. Just work constantly and write. And I'm still dissociating at times, but I'm taking it better. And it's been like 7 or close to 8 months now since my relapse. It's still going on. But overall, it's just getting better. I'm able to, just go through it and know, okay, it's like, it's like unfolding all this stuff that's been like, this disorder that's been like almost like, how do I say it? Like sorting, like unfolding something that's been like crunched up and distorted and twisted and everything, and it needs that tension of like, okay, like unraveling stuff so that I can experience things normally now and perceive my emotions and perceive reality. All right.